I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC, with TC. Oh, I'm on a pod with TC, with TC.
All right, welcome. This is Financial Literacy with TC. I'm your boy TC. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm excited for this episode we're doing this week because I'm with a phenomenal, inspiring, motivational woman. She is a great ambassador. But before I get to her introduction, as always, I want to make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. We want to continue to bring you good financial content when we're talking about financial literacy with TC. We want to make sure we're representing, having Black representation when we talk about all things finances. So with that being said, guys, welcome to another episode, and we're going to jump right into it. Before we get started, as you can see, we are on location. I definitely want to give a shout out to CREDITPOWER LLC. They were so kind enough to let us use this episode, and we're going to dive into who owns this space. And we're going to jump right in. So my guest today, she really doesn't need an introduction for those who know her, but I'm going to do my best anyway. So my guest today is an author. She's a credit expert. She's a real estate investor. She's an active economic community development. She's a mother, grandmother, a veteran. She's a CEO of My Business Space, a motivational speaker, a mentor.
Wow.
She also owns a business called Higher Power Homes. And she also has, what you see behind me, she's the owner of CREDITPOWER LLC. And I want you guys to, make sure you show your love and show admiration and just be in awe of an amazing, phenomenal woman that I have in front of me. And honestly, I don't even think I covered everything that you are. But I want to take the time, and I want to introduce Dr. SALOAM to you guys. Thank you, Dr. Bey, for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
And
I
hope I did you justice.
You did.
I wanted to bring energy. And I wanted to bring excitement because that's who your personality is. For those who don't know you, and I just wanted to make sure I did you justice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for inviting me here. Right. Financial Literacy with TC, baby. Yes. Thank you so much. Not baby like that, but that's the part of what I say. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on your podcast. Yes, you said a lot. You said a mouthful, and thank you for that great introduction. So yeah, we can move right on in. Okay. I mean, you said so much. I don't want to bore the people with who I am. So,
no, not at all. So let's start with we have your beautiful website behind us. So let's talk about CREDITPOWER LLC. Just give people some insight on how that came to be. What was your vision? How you established it. Just letting them know what CREDITPOWER LLC is all about.
Well, CREDITPOWER LLC is a credit restoration company that's dedicated to improving the financial health of our communities through credit education, credit repair, and focused financial management. And CREDITPOWER started in 2014 in Alexandria, Virginia. Okay. That's where our first location is. And then we rented a spot on the Hill District, the historical Hill District, where I'm from, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then we bought this space in 2019. So yeah, it's a credit restoration company. Yes.
That's awesome. I love that because I'm a firm believer that, credit is a big thing in our society nowadays. And a lot of times in the Black community, we have a tendency not to understand the significance of having good credit. Or at least in my experience with my background in banking, I see people who, they feel that their credit is in the 400, 300s, and they just feel like, oh, I can never bring it back up to where it needs to be. So with that being said, my guess is, my question for you, is why is it important for individuals to understand how credit works, and what are the most common misconceptions people have about building their credit?
So I think it's crucial for people to understand credit because credit helps it helps empower people to manage their finances.
Absolutely.
It helps them to get approved for loans. Absolutely. And it contributes to their overall financial health.
Right.
Yes. And a few misconceptions about credit, you said?
Yeah.
People tend to think that when they look at their own credit or they pull their own credit,
right,
that their score will drop.
Yep.
And that's not the case. When people pull their own credit, it's called a soft inquiry. Now, there's a hard inquiry and there's a soft inquiry. When you pull your own credit, it's a soft inquiry. It has no effect to your credit report or score. But a hard inquiry, it will definitely drop your score anywhere from around about 2 to 11 points, depending on what's inside of the credit report itself. So
right.
That's a misconception. People think that when they pull their own credit, their score will drop. It's not.
Gotcha. No, and that's significant for people to understand because, like you said, a lot of times individuals, when they go, and especially me having my background in banking, I understand that a lot of times the person that is in front of me, the customer, I'm like, I can tell within a few minutes if they are educated about the loan process. And you know what I mean? And as you know, if you're going into a financial institution and, they feel like you're not educated enough, they can be throwing jargon words at you that you're not, in banking terminology that you're not familiar with. And it can make you feel like your head's spinning because, and I'm like, well, credit is very important. So I love that you take the time to, explain that to people and let them know like, hey, you can get educated on how to better your credit and you can do so by joining CREDITPOWER LLC.
Oh, yes.
All right. So that was excellent when it comes to explaining that because I feel like that's definitely needed for people to understand, especially in the Black community. My next question for you, improving credit. What are 3 actionable steps someone who has poor credit can take today to improve their credit score?
Well, what they can do is make sure they pay their bills on time.
Yeah.
Don't be late.
For sure.
As I taught my grandson to say, don't overspend on your credit cards. To keep your utilization low. Right. I'm not saying that you can't spend, but manage your finances. When you use a credit card, use it after the statement closing date if you can.
Right.
That way, when it comes around for it to be due, you can make sure that you pay it off without being late, without that extra interest, and you can manage that credit score because your score goes up or down according to the balance that's on your credit report. Gotcha. So you want to make sure that it's close to zero as possible when that statement closes. Absolutely. And that will help, increase your credit score significantly. Yes. And it can be within 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, whenever that statement closing date is.
Gotcha. No, and honestly, y'all, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. That's the only 2 credit tips you get. And if you need more, you gotta connect with Dr. BEY and CREDITPOWER LLC. So I'm gonna take the time to make sure you guys see the website. Like I said, I love the website. It's creditpowerllc.com. What we're talking about here is so significant, so important. So I wanted to make sure we had that highlighted to you guys. Like always, I'm going to have all Dr. BEY's contact information, her social media platforms, her handles in the description. So you can definitely connect with her because it's so significant. But we ain't about to give y'all all the sauce. I just wanted to give y'all 2 little nice ones. Okay. So the next thing I'm excited to talk about, so you definitely do real estate. And I am so excited because you were one of the first people, and you might be still the only person till this day who is actively teaching our community about how to acquire properties. And you do so in a number of ways. Specifically, I've witnessed, and I'm excited to say that on December 18th, which is next Wednesday, you will be hosting a sheriff sale. So I wanted, and I don't want to, because I know you can explain it way better than me. I'm going to let you take it over, but just explain to the audience what's happening on December 18th.
Okay, so December 18th is our Wisdom and Wine Wednesday Sheriff Sale edition. It's a 2-part series this time.
Yes.
So the Sheriff Sale is going to be, our event is going to be December 18th.
Right.
And then the second event is going to be January the 6th. So the Sheriff Sale is when The people will come in. We'll come in here.
Yes.
We'll be in here, my business space.
My business space.
On December 18th, and we will be speaking about the sheriff's sale. I'll be teaching about the sheriff's sale. Malik Potter will be here. Yes. Talking about title insurance and things like that. So the sheriff's sale, it's where you would buy, it's an auction. It's an auction to buy property that a previous owner may have fell behind on their taxes.
Right.
It may be foreclosed property, mortgages that fell behind,
Right.
taxes that, the previous owner didn't pay.
Right.
So all of those property go into an auction and get sold at a sheriff's sale.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
and that's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity because investors like sheriff sales because that's your opportunity to buy property at low market value, right?
Exactly.
Low market value, and you can make a profit on it.
Yes.
You can buy, fix up and sell, buy, fix up and flip. You can hold. If you see some properties in your community that's ugly or looks blighted, you can now fix them up,
right,
and use them for community use.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's phenomenal because a lot of times there are so many individuals in our community who want to get into real estate, but they just don't have the education, or they don't have the resources, or they don't even know the how to, step to get into it. And knowing that you do a phenomenal job, opening your doors to this beautiful space to allow individuals to come in and learn, and all they got to do is tap in with you. So again, we're encouraging you to make sure that you come December 18th.
Yeah.
We starting at 6?
We're starting at 6. And
6. Okay.
And
actually, I'm gonna get it up here.
Yes. And let me just tell you that we usually charge $149.99 for Wisdom and Wine Wednesday. And guess what? This time around, we're blessing you. It's the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
Yes. So what we did was we refunded everybody. It was about 23 people who paid like $149.99. So we refunded about over $3,000 back to the community, and we made it free. Wisdom and Wine Wednesday, December 18th. It's totally free.
Yes.
Right. It's totally free, and we're excited about that.
Absolutely.
We're definitely excited about that. What you need to do to qualify. Let me give you the directions, because you can't just pop up. All right. You cannot just pop up. So real quick, few steps. What you need to do is go on to Credit Power LLC's Facebook business page.
Yes.
And take a picture of any post that has anything to do with credit. All right. And then you're going to share that, or no, not take a picture. You're going to go to Credit Power's business page on Facebook. And what you're going to do is share a post that has anything to do with credit. Share it to your personal page, share it to your stories, right? You might need to take a picture, because then what you're going to do is you got to send us proof that you did it.
Right.
So you probably got to screenshot it and send us proof to admin@creditpowerllc.com.
Right.
Send us that proof that you shared it on your personal page and that you shared it in your stories. And guess what? That will allow you entrance into my business space for Wisdom and Wine Wednesday. Oh, we got it. Yeah. Right. And so you'll receive an email response from us that says, congratulations, your seat has been reserved. If you have not received that email, then you will not be able to gain access to my business space where success is created for
Absolutely.
Wisdom and Wine Wednesday.
Yes.
Say the prayer. Malik. Malik, pray over the food.
All right. Dear Lord, thank you for this day that we can come together and congregate over the education and the wellness that we need to be better conduits of your word and your abilities through us in the community.
Thank you, Lord.
I want you to bless the food that was prepared for us, and that way it's nourishing for our bodies, and it gets our brains ready to intake all this great information we're going to get tonight. I want to thank SALOAM and your power through her to bring us together to have these conversations, to be more powerful in the community. So I would like to bless everyone here on their travels back home after this, and that throughout this conversation that everybody gets what they're looking for, and then we go forward with your steps ordered. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, y'all. And while we're all right here, food is in here, so you all can serve yourself.
So yeah, there you have it. Wisdom and Wine Wednesday. And I don't know why I can't get that off.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, I'm very excited that you're able to share that because that's phenomenal.
Thank
and
you.
We definitely want to make sure people have access to phenomenal information. So you definitely are doing your thing with that.
Thank you.
That is much needed in our community. And so with that being said, I just wanted to ask you one question in regards to just how because you've been doing it for a number of years. What are some of the, I don't even want to use the word misconception, but what are some of the, I guess I have to use misconception because I can't think of another word. What is some of the misconceptions that people have about, what a sheriff's sale actually looks like? Because I've seen, if I'm not mistaken, you've actually gone down to the courthouse and you've actually done them virtually as well, if I'm not mistaken. So is there anything about the process that people, that you've seen people think they know, but it's really not like that? Or
well, since before COVID happened, it was you can go down to 414 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Gotcha. So 414 Grand Street in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it would be hundreds of people, right, in the gold room on the fourth floor.
In the gold room.
Yes, the gold room. Yeah. But now it's virtual. Now 25 people can go and get access to the gold room, but everything is really virtual now. But people used to think that it wasn't intimidating. You go in there and they used to think that you can actually see the property, but you can't. You have to do everything before the sale even happens. Gotcha. Before the auction even happens. Right. You have to do your own research with everything. Some people ask, are we going to be able to see the houses? No, you got to do your own research. Yeah. There's no screen there where you can see the houses. Sell it. Yeah, right. There's no screen. Yeah. You can't see that. There is a screen, but it only gives you the sale number, the address, how much they're selling it for. But if you want to see what that property looks like, you got to go out for yourself. And that way you can see what the property looks like. If the property is standing, if the property has people living in it, right, you got to do your own research because just like any real estate, everything is a risk.
Absolutely.
When you get into real estate, it's a risk.
And I love that. And like I said before, we're going to hold it there because if you need more tea, we just want to give you a little sauce. But we want to make sure you're showing up and showing out. Dr. Bay's already explained on what you have to do to be in, to gain free access to. So she's already giving you guys the sauce. So now all you have to do is go to CREDITPOWER LLC and share the page, and then you have access to come and get all the sauce and tea. So with that being said, we're going to move on to Higher Power Homes.
Okay.
So my question for that is, what inspired you to create Higher Power Homes, and how does it contribute to community economic development?
Wow, that's a great loaded question. Wait a minute. What inspired me to create Higher Power Homes is because through CREDITPOWER LLC, which is the credit restoration company, 90% of our clients, their goal is to own a home.
Right.
So there was a client who came to me years ago, and she was already renting her dream home. Her children were already going to a great school in a great neighborhood. The landlord was around about 84 years old, but wanted to give her first dibs on the house. Gave her first dibs on the house, but she got denied the loan. So she came to us in July of 2018 and wanted to be approved by October. Right. And that's 3 months. And like I told her, I know you all think we're miracle workers, but we don't know if that's possible.
Right.
So Can't make no promises. Definitely can't guarantee nothing because the only thing that's guaranteed is what? Death. So, taxes. I ain't even guaranteed, but they'll take them from your bank account. Yeah. Listen, Uncle Sam gonna get his. But yeah, so we told her we can't guarantee, right, but what we will do is work relentlessly for you. And if us working together, if we don't have you credit worthy by October, what we'll do is we'll buy the house off the landlord, right? And then once we work together and get you credit worthy, you'll buy the home off of us. We
Right.
named it Higher Power Homes because we knew what we were doing for people in the community was from our higher power,
I love
which is
that.
God. And
Absolutely.
that's what inspired it.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure, because
Mhm.
you know, I mean,
Yes.
it's unheard of. You know,
Thank
so
you.
I love that. That story's phenomenal. That's
Thank
an
you.
amazing testimony.
Thank you.
And you know, honestly, you know, again, we're not going to give you all the sauce, but Higher Power Homes, I believe you have a website for that.
Oh yes. www.higherpowerhomes.com.
Yes. So definitely, if you're in, well, hopefully you're not in a very exact similar situation, but if you're just in need of a home, you know, tap in with Dr. BEY. You know, make sure that you're looking at other avenues and other ways for you to attain your dream house. And, you know, while she's helping you build your credit with Credit Power LLC, that's going to be a common theme. So, you know, she could be helping you as well with Higher Power Homes. You may be living in one of the spaces, and then, you know, you might love it so much that you want to, you know, buy it. So, you know, it's a phenomenal story because we know a lot of people in our communities are tired of renting.
Right. And that was, you know, like I said, another reason why we created Higher Power Homes, and then we created the housing program where our clients, if you are, if we're working with you with your credit, then you can already live in your dream home. If you're able to rent one of our homes, if they're available at that time, we have a rent to own program through Higher Power Homes.
Nice.
Right. So it's a housing program where you can already move into your dream home and make payments towards your mortgage. Right. And then once you become credit worthy, you'll buy the home off of us, but you're already living in your dream home.
I love that. It don't get no better than that. So you being a phenomenal business owner, entrepreneur,
Thank you.
It's just natural that, you know, people are going to gravitate to you. So I know that this is what I've personally found out and learned about you, is you are phenomenal with, you're not what we would call a gatekeeper, at least not in my opinion.
Thank you.
I've seen you work with people surrounding businesses and different, you're a mentor. You have tons of mentees who are out there doing successful things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shout them out because a lot of them will be on this podcast, so y'all got to stay tuned. But my question for you is, when it comes to mentoring business owners, what are some of the common challenges for new business owners that they face, and how do you guide them through those obstacles that they may face?
So just changing their mindset.
Okay.
Changing their mindset when it comes to credit, just letting them know that, okay, yes, you have a business. Yes, you have a registered LLC. Yes, you have your EIN.
Right.
But you have to build business credit
in
order to be approved for money or funding or credit under your business.
Right.
The banks are going to look at your personal report. They're going to look at your personal credit report to see who you are, to see how you borrow and pay back. How have you been doing it?
Yep.
Are you on time? Are you late? Do you say what you mean what you say? They can tell all of that from your behavior in your credit report.
Absolutely.
So I tell business owners that, listen, I know you want business credit, but they're going to look at your personal credit.
Absolutely.
So if you want that funding, if you want that money, if you want to be approved, you got to change your behavior.
Absolutely.
Period. Because your behavior is a reflection of you. It's a reflection of how you do business. Right?
Absolutely.
It's a reflection of your trust. It's a reflection of your integrity.
Yes.
You know, what does your credit report say about you? So before you can even think about money under your business, you got to clean you up as a person.
Absolutely.
Period.
And a lot of times people try to navigate as if they don't go hand in hand.
They do.
And
that's the misconception right there. They go hand in hand. You know, they want to see how you treat yourself.
Exactly.
Because how you treat yourself is a reflection
of what your business might look like.
Yeah. Yes. And
as
how you might treat them. If you don't care about paying your bills, if you saying, forget it, that charge off, I could just charge it off to the game.
Right. Yep.
They'll feel like you're not going to pay them.
Yep. And as a banker, I can attest.
Right. And they in the business to make money.
Absolutely.
And if they can't make money off of you, then
And they
They don't
don't
want you
care
as their
about
partner.
your sob stories. They don't
Uh-uh.
care if somebody passed away.
No.
And that's
No, they don't care about you having a baby. They don't care that your mom died. They don't care that your child died.
Right.
They don't care that the dog got hit.
Right.
They don't care that the cat got sick. They don't care about none of that.
Yeah. And,
Listen.
you know, you want to have, and it's not that you don't want to have sympathy and have a heart for those situations and things that happen, but they do not care. So.
Right.
So I love that. Let's talk about Wealth Wisdom Week. That was a phenomenal week in July, if I'm not mistaken. You had some phenomenal people. You had Dave Freeman on with us. You had Quinn Morant.
Yep, Attorney Quinn Morant.
Shout out to Quinn. She was on my podcast before as well, talking about estate planning.
Yeah,
check it out. And one of the things that I loved about that was it was a week dedicated to honoring you and all the phenomenal work you've done over many years. Because you've gotten proclamations from the mayor. Shout out to Mayor Gainey. And you've done phenomenal things, just really being an advocate for financial literacy and educating our community. And the fact that you took time to bring that up, what was your thoughts about how that went, as far as attendance and things like that? Were there some things you liked? Was there some things you didn't like? Just a little bit of your opinion on that week, because I know you'll probably be doing it again in 2025, correct?
Yes, Wealth Wisdom Week was so much great information.
For sure.
We talked about credit, we talked about business, we talked about business credit, we talked about estate planning, we talked about wills, we talked about financial literacy, we talked about investments, we talked about insurance.
We talked about a lot.
We talked about a lot. It was definitely a wealth of information.
For sure.
Definitely. Listen, it was phenomenal. The turnout was great as well.
Absolutely.
Usually in the Black community, a lot of people don't turn out for financial events and things like that.
Yep.
But the turnout was great.
Yeah.
For the amount of people that signed up, because say like, for example, if 10 people sign up, maybe 3 are coming.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I think like 80% of the people showed up.
And that's good.
Yeah. So it was great. A lot of information.
Next year we're going to get that up.
Yeah. A lot of information. People were super excited. They were on fire.
Absolutely.
A few people said they connected with Dave, and got some financial accounts. Some financial accounts, which is the life insurance, things like that. A few of them connected with
Dave's my advisor. So.
Right. Yes. Quintora Morant. I was connected with clients for my business space, CREDITPOWER, so it was great. People got what they needed. Got what they needed.
And honestly, I'm not even gonna hold you. All that was phenomenal for me as well. But my favorite part was probably just the opportunity to network.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I met a lot of business owners that have worked with you, and then I met people in IT and things. So just being able to network and meet people in the room, and because I just love being around like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
My top 10 closest friends are doing phenomenal things in their individual spaces or industries. And, so I always just love being in the room with phenomenal people. So
yes, me too.
When we're talking about just how inspirational you are,
Thank you.
And I'm saying this not even just as my own opinion, but just by the masses. Because for those who don't follow you on Instagram, Facebook, you need to.
CREDITPOWER LLC for Facebook, CREDITPOWER LLC for Instagram, and then SALOAM BEY.
Because the reason why I say that is because you've done a lot of speaking engagements at different universities. Most recently, I was with you for Greenwood Plan Week, which is a business conference. Shout out to Greenwood Plan, which is a business conference that's held every October here in Pittsburgh. It's a 4-day event. And you were one of the panelists where you were discussing what to do when you make your first 6-figure income, or when you're making 6 figures in your business. And you did a phenomenal job just, giving insight and giving game to just how, your experience, and then trying to give people advice on how to move once that's been a goal and been accomplished for them. So my question to you is, what motivates you to continue to be that advocate and to be that motivational speaker that you've been and will probably continue to be?
What motivates me is just helping the community. You know, not only helping the community, but seeing their success.
Right.
Seeing, you know, seeing the wisdom that they applied.
Right.
You understand, to be more successful in their life right now and in the future. And not just for them, but everybody they're connected to and those babies that depends on them, right? When my clients, their score can raise 3 points, and I'm super excited. It can help brighten my day.
Absolutely.
You know, 3 points, because 3 points can take you from a 597 to a 600, a 697 to a 700.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So
and that's a difference in interest rate.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So
for sure.
You know, what inspires me is just to keep going, because I want to help the community. You know, and then to leave a legacy. You know, to leave a legacy, right? I also want the people who don't believe to see that it's possible, right? I want the parents and the caregivers to teach their children, right? So they can have the information earlier on, because if the parents and the caregivers, if they know it, then they can teach the children earlier on.
Absolutely.
So that inspires me. Absolutely. You know, my 6-year-old grandson, you know, I want him to, he's going to remember me even when I'm past, even when I pass my form, even when I'm dead and gone, even when God calls me home, my grandchild is going to remember me. And you know how?
You're leaving a legacy.
Yes. He's going to remember me, right? Yes, because grandma
set me up to win.
Absolutely. So I live my life.
I love
part
that.
of helping the community is so I can live my life so my grandchildren's children can remember my name.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. Yes. And I'll be honest, to add to what you're saying, on your social media pages, you always have phenomenal testimonies about people just winning. And for me, that brings me so much joy. So anytime I see it, I give it a heart, because I'm like, that's where we need more positive stories being talked about on our social media and in the news, and not just the negative. You know, the negative should never outweigh the positive. So, no one embodies that better than you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So as we start to wind down and end these things up, I just want to dive into a little bit about your mindset as far as future vision, future plans. And this can be, you know, if there's anything that you thought about expanding either one of your businesses, or even if, you know, your personal, you know, plans or anything like that. Just anything, future things that you envision yourself improving upon, or things that you want to do that you haven't completed yet.
So that I haven't completed yet. I'm in the Airbnb space.
Okay.
So I was thinking about creating a business Airbnb.
Okay.
So a business Airbnb is when the business owners, they would fly in, right? And instead of them flying into maybe like a hotel or something like that, they fly into, and they get a chance to have their business meeting at their Airbnb, right? At their Airbnb, they sleep at their Airbnb, they have their business at their Airbnb,
for sure,
right? And then the business partners who they're meeting with come over to their Airbnb, but the Airbnb is a business Airbnb, like my business space.
Yeah.
Something like my business space.
Gotcha.
So that's where my vision is going. Okay. Also, I'm in the works of purchasing a 10-unit building.
Okay.
And so more of my properties can be under one roof.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
And not all over the place, not on the east side, not on the west side, and you know, the south side, right? You know, but could be on one side,
for
you
sure.
know, yeah. So
I love that.
So yeah, that's some future plans without letting y'all know
too much.
Yeah, because some things I gotta keep for myself.
Absolutely, as you should. Well, I know that as phenomenal, because again, like I said, I was so excited to have you on, because
thank you.
You are not only killing it,
thanks for having me,
individually, but you're also killing it as a legend and a GOAT
Thank you.
And that's GOAT for those who don't get the analogy. You are just someone who is always inspirational, always inspiring others.
Thank
and,
you.
I just wanted to make sure that if there was any prominent voice that needed to be on this podcast,
Thank you.
I couldn't think of anybody better.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I'm appreciative of you. I do want to give you
There's lots of people. That's good, though. Great. Better than me.
Hey,
Thank you.
If they are, I don't know.
Oh, thank you.
So, I do want to give you the last word. If there's anything you want to say, or feel that we didn't talk about, or anything you want to.
No, we covered a lot.
Okay, we did.
We definitely covered a lot.
Yeah.
But the last thing I'll say is, if you have an idea, no matter if it's business or personal, I want you to run and jump off that cliff. Don't worry about hitting the ground, because you're going to grow wings on the way down.
Right.
That's going to pull you up to reach your goal. Okay. And everybody goes up and down. And throughout the day, if we're naked and transparent with ourselves, everybody go up and down,
Right.
in our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions and our mental, all of that, so I just want to let you know that if you have an idea, if you want to do something, just do it. Just run, jump off that cliff, and grow wings on the way down. Those wings are going to pull you up.
Yes.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And Dr. Bay said it best. So again, I want to thank Dr. Bay. This is Financial Literacy with TC. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC, with TC. Oh, I'm on a pod with TC, with TC.